What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about this AMC versus Universal Studios news. Now, this happened a few days ago. Like I said on channel, I've been working, been doing shit. Busy time during this whole Corona thing, so I can't really get these videos out as much as I would. Well, I can get a lot out, at a time, but I can't get them out as many, as much as I want to per day. But I really wanted to talk about this because I've seen a lot of people confused about this. Now, Universal Studios are the people behind Jurassic World, and things of that nature. Jurassic World, the failed Mummy, also the Fast and Furious franchises, and the Minions and Despicable Me. So that's Universal Studios. They've been around for a very long time. They've produced a lot of movies. They don't own the rights to the universe. They don't own the rights to like the Mummy and stuff, but they have the Universal monsters, the Mummy, Dracula, and things of that nature. And they've been around long ass time, like I said. And this whole Corona thing has put a lot of studios in a very difficult situation. We've talked about this before on this channel. A lot of studios have to make up the amount. Like right now, Disney just had a $5 billion loan. I mean, Disney's hurting. Warner Brothers is hurting. Everybody's hurting. Every movie's getting pushed back. To this day, right now, today, Black Widow was supposed to be coming out in theaters. I would have already been gone to see. I wouldn't even be here right now. I'd be gone to see Black Widow right now. I'd be reviewing it right now. Mulan was supposed to have come out weeks ago. And there's still so many movies that are being pushed back. Like, everything's pushed back. Black Widow's not coming out to November. There's still multiple Marvel movies getting pushed back. So it's crazy right now. It's fucking chaos. Every fucking sport is closed. Like, all sports are closed where you might get... I mean, like, it's bad when NASCAR might be the only damn sport that comes back. So, it's crazy right now. And in the midst of all this... Once again, what we've talked about before is the idea of putting some of these movies direct to video, which is basically being able to get these movies, rent these movies, from apps on your phone, from, all these different things, being able to rent these movies for about $20 a pop and watch it on your TV. These big movies that were supposed to go in theaters directly on your TV. Now, we talked about this before. Universal were the first ones to take a step. And they announced they were going to put Trolls 2. Yeah, that's what this is all about, Trolls 2. No one even watched the first Trolls, and every single review I saw of Trolls 2 was negative, which is crazy for a movie that's causing so much chaos. But the thing is, what people don't understand is the reason that all the theaters, right now all the theaters, Regal, AMC, the theaters, the National, I think it's called the National Theaters Guild, and the Theaters Guild over, the European Theaters Guild, all of these theater places are pretty much calling out Universal and pretty much saying we won't play your movies, or we won't play your movies. Now, AMC saying they just won't play their movies. Regal saying we won't play your movies that you release on VOD first. And all of this happened because a couple days ago, the numbers for Trolls 2 came out. And it was stated that they made $100 million in profit. Now, for people who don't know, when a movie hits the theaters, the number you see isn't the number that the studio who made it actually gets. So, for instance, Avengers Endgame made $2.7 billion. Disney only took home about almost $1 billion of it. About 950, something like that, like 970, something like that, in that range. So, like, they didn't take $2 billion. They grossed $2 billion, but they didn't take $2 billion back. They technically made 970 something million dollars on it. Now, that's one of the most profitable films of all time. It's almost $1 billion in profit, which is like fantastic. But whenever a movie makes, the studio, the theaters get the percentages. All these different people get their cut of the pie. Depending, you got to pay the actors. You got to pay there's all kinds of things that goes into it before you actually get what your the number. We've talked about this also. To know if a movie breaks even, you should look at the budget, look at the production cost, and then you go from there. And then you times it by 2, and that's what the break-even point is for a movie. So, as long as you break even, you're good. You're not great, but as long as you break even, you're generally good. But, yeah, so that's what that's about. So, but if you release a movie on VOD, direct to digital, you can pocket about 80% of it. But the thing is, Universal owns a lot of the things that they're releasing Trolls on. They own Fandango and things of that nature. Things you might have heard of. Fandango's a nice little app to like get tickets to go to movies and stuff. They own that. So a lot of the things they own, they pocket 100% of $100 million. Which doesn't sound like a bunch, compared to some blockbusters. But when you consider the cuts that other people get, it's a lot. It is a nice sizable cut of money. Problem is, like I said, there's very mixed messages out there, but the guy running Universal came out and was like, "This is an amazing accomplishment. Maybe we could start doing it like this. Maybe we can start releasing movies straight to VOD and releasing them in theaters." Needless to say, the guy who runs AMC didn't like that one bit. He pretty much just said, "Fuck you. You disrespected us. Get out of my face. And we're not going to play any of your movies." Yeah, that means Jurassic World and Fast and Furious or anything of that nature ain't getting played at an AMC theater. And you might not know what an AMC theater is, but, you'll know. It'll show up when you first get in there. If it says AMC, you ain't going to see these movies in there. And Regal's already kind of said, like, well, we're not going to play their movies. We back you, AMC. We might still play their movies as long as they don't try to release it on, directed VOD. Right off the bat. But a lot of people are misinterpreting this. A lot of people are misinterpreting this as the theaters being salty that Universal had a savvy strategy. First of all, John Campia, another YouTuber, already talked about it. They actually haven't technically broken even on that movie because you got to remember the budget. You got to remember budget plus marketing times 2. So technically, they haven't even broken even on the movie yet. So they haven't technically made a profit yet. That's why, it's like some people are pointing out, like, this is a bit premature to be, touting that you guys this might be the way we go about it. But so technically, they haven't made profit yet. And Universal has kind of backstepped on their, rah speech about maybe this will be the way we go. And secondly, I heard a lot of people, and I see a lot of YouTubers saying that the theaters are being salty. The theaters this is the end of theaters. You guys are refusing to see, what's gonna happen. You guys are refusing the future. You can't deny the future. Because there are a lot of people who are convinced that, the future is putting huge blockbuster movies on video so people could just watch it at home. To me, I see a bit of that. I do see a bit of it, but I can't completely... You can't make a $2.7 billion movie directed, at home. Yeah, think about it. Like I said, we've talked about this before. Between pirates, people who literally steal these movies for a living. Now, it's hard. Now, people steal movies at the theaters, too. But they're shitty looking. Like they're really shitty looking. Because, best case scenario, you can only sneak in like a fucking camera phone. Camera phones are pretty great these days. But still, the way it's shown, like it's still shitty looking. There's people walking by. I don't even care about that stuff anymore. That's why I don't even care about that stuff anymore. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not. I'd rather pay to see the movie than have to look at that kind of a shitty version of the movie. I'd rather have to pay than look at that. But... the thing is, once a movie comes out on DVD, once a movie comes out on Blu-ray, once a movie comes out digitally, it becomes a lot easier to pirate. Because then you can get a clean-cut version of it. So then you gotta think about it. Pirates are gonna take about 25 to 30% of what money they would make. So that money's gone. Then to top it off, when you go to a movies, it's about $15. Here it's about $15. In other places, almost $30 a person. If you just buy $20, just rent it for $20 for 40 something hours, you could just bring people over to watch it. You could literally just be like, we're having a watch party, and bring 6-7 people over, and you all watch it for the cost of a single ticket. There's no way you can make that difference. Now, like I said, there's some people go, oh, well, they'll pocket straight change. Dude, they're not. Because so many lazy people that I know are going to be like, I'm going to just go watch it on some kind of, some place where I can watch it illegally, and get a clean-cut version of it. I don't got to pay for this. People are going to subvert it. Like right now, Disney Plus is being pirated. The Mandalorian is the most pirated show of all time. And so that means that whatever numbers Disney Plus has in subscribers, there's probably a huge chunk who are not watching it, who are just pirating it. And that's what would happen to Black Widow. That's what would happen to all the major movies. And they can't do that. You can't do that with $700 million, like with movies that cost about like $400 to $200 million. You can do that with something like Trolls that cost like $100 million plus like maybe $40 million, $50 million marketing. The movie costs $150 million altogether. You can't do that with Black Widow. Black Widow cost almost a little over $300 something million to make. Like, you know, like, you can't do that. You couldn't do that with Endgame. Endgame costs a little over $500 million to make. You think they're going to make that back on VOD? They would make $600 million tops, which would still be way less than what they just pocketed for getting in theaters. Theaters are still the main source of big movies. They're still the main source of the big budget. I don't agree. I don't think that people, like, yes, there are going to be super people who are so lazy they're going to wait to go see it on VOD. But problem is, there are going to be people who are even more lazy who are going to just wait to see it on Disney+. So it's like, what do you want? Like, no one's going to do that. They're going to just be like, I'll just wait until you put it on Disney+. That's it. So, for me, personally, I agree. I'm with the theaters. Universal disrespected them because they didn't tell them what they were doing. And you have to understand, the theaters and the companies are in a partnership. All the theaters, AMC and Regal, they're in partnerships with Warner Brothers, with Disney, with Universal, with all these companies. They're in partnerships with them. The partners, they have to talk, you know, just like any partners in like a freaking business relationship, you have to talk and whatnot. Universal did not talk to them. Universal is just going off, going rogue, not talking to the rest of the people, not talking to the theaters, not talking to anyone. So the theater said, fine, don't talk to us, fuck you. That's basically what happened. In a small, you know, nutshell, that's what the theater said. Fine. You want to be like that? Well, fuck you then. Don't show back up. Basically, that's what happened. So I agree with the theaters. Universal they're being very short-sighted and naive. This is not a pathway yet. $100 million on Trolls just because Trolls isn't a freaking, you know, huge major blockbuster like Black Widow. I believe Black Widow will come out in November. I believe that we will start getting movies in theaters soon. Even if movies don't make as much as they would make, whatever they make in theaters is still going to be bigger than what they would make on VOD. So thank you guys for joining the Count Game Movie Show. Please leave me a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.